In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the details of a new report that was released focused on the middle class and how the finances of these hundreds of millions of people are getting absolutely destroyed right now. So if you're someone that's feeling behind or that you can't keep up financially right now, you are certainly not alone, and that'll be very evident with the information I want to share with you here in this video based on that report. With that being said, let's get into it and talk through all these details. Now, I don't think it's any shock to anybody that a lot of people right now, middle class, low income, basically anybody earning under a massive six-figure salary or income on an annualized basis is really struggling right now. The last couple years here, again, I don't need to sit here and preach to you. You know the details behind this, right? Massive inflation, prices have gone up on everything. The cost of living has increased substantially, way more than they continue to tell us that it has. And as a result, this has put a strain on a lot of people, hundreds of millions of people, middle class, low income individuals. And again, I want to share with you the details of this new report that was released statistically across the entire country. It's a rough situation out there, right? But yet we continue to hear all these reports and people coming out saying, oh no, the finances of the American people are great. We're improving. We're doing great right now. The American consumer is strong. Have you heard that recently? It's ridiculous. I've heard this so many times. The consumer is so strong right now. Look at this robust economy. Is that really the case? Or what is actually driving the economy right now? It's actually kind of interesting because the more you read into it, it's actually looking like a lot of the strength in the economy, if there actually even is strength in the first place, is actually coming from government spending, not actually us, the consumers spending our hard-earned dollars, which, by the way, incomes have not kept up with the cost of living over the last couple of years with rapidly rising prices. Generally, wages have gone up like a few percent, 3, 5, 7, maybe 10% in some cases, but yet the cost of living has gone up between about 18 and 25%, depending on what you look at. So massively higher. Anyway, let me get into it really quickly and share with you the details of this report here, and you'll clearly see what exactly I want to share with you and exactly what this report is now finding. So get this, just under 65% of respondents to this report said that their financial situation is so dire right now that they do not believe it is ever going to improve the rest of their life. I mean, the rest of their life, not just for the next 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years, but they think it's never going to improve the rest of their life. This is 65, just under 65% of people. So basically, that's a huge percentage of our population that never thinks that their financial situation will ever improve. That's really sad, honestly. That is not a healthy consumer. That is not a consumer that says, yeah, let's go out and do a bunch of fun stuff. This is a group of people that are saying, this is really rough right now, and this is really hard, right? But again, that's just what nearly 65% of people are saying. Now, also, they're finding in this report here as well, 40% of people are not able to plan beyond their next paycheck. And again, fill in paycheck with whatever. It could be from earned income. It could be from fixed income benefit. But 40% of people are basically just saying, I cannot plan beyond getting paid next, okay? It's a lot of people as well. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not a little bit higher. I figured that number would be significantly higher, but that's just what they're at right now. Now, they also found with this report, 46% of people do not have $500 set aside for an emergency. That's a really bad problem as well, okay? If 46% of the people, okay, just basically call it half the people, do not have $500 set aside for an emergency, that's a really rough situation as well, right? So what happens when an emergency does arise for these people? And again, fill an emergency with whatever. A tire blows on a car, a transmission goes out, I don't know, fill in the blank, an injury. I mean, hopefully that never happens to anybody, but just something like that, okay? Anything. The dog or cat becomes sick. You need to take it to the vet, which, by the way, that's hundreds of dollars. That's very expensive, right? My point is, anything like this could happen, right? Anything could happen. And $500 these days, what does that get you anymore? Not much, right? You're not going to be in a very good financial position for somebody that doesn't have $500 set aside. And again, $500 probably wouldn't even cut it in the first place, right? So what does this person do? They generally turn to, credit cards. Yeah, credit cards, because that's where you can float a balance, and that's where somebody can get instant credit to pay for something that they need to, right? Well, then what happens? All of a sudden, they put it on a credit card, And then, boom, there you go. We're off to the races. We're going to pay interest on that sucker forever because it's going to take a long time for that person to pay it off if their finances are not even keeping up for them to be able to set aside $500, right? Now, mostly this report is focused on the middle class, okay? Now, how do we define middle class? Well, they define middle class as somebody that has an income at least 200% of the federal poverty level, okay? Now, as an individual, the federal poverty line right now in 2024 is $15,060. This is as an individual. So 200% of that would be $30,120, would be 200% of the federal poverty level right now for 2024 as an individual. Now, as a married couple, or what I basically should say is a household of two. That's kind of how they define it. It's not necessarily a married couple, but a household of two, the federal poverty level is $20,440 right now for 2024, okay? So 200% of that would be $40,880, okay? So that's what they're saying is income at least above that. Now, here's the scary part. Anybody that's below these thresholds, okay? So anybody that's a low income, below 200% of the federal poverty level, these numbers I just shared with you, as in the nearly 65% of people that don't believe their finances will ever improve, the 40% of people that can't plan beyond their next paycheck, the 46% of people that do not have $500 set aside, the lower that you get on the income scale, those numbers go up higher and higher and higher. So this is just people in the middle class that we're talking about here in this report, but the lower the income that you get, the more that these numbers become exacerbated. It's a bad situation, okay? Here's what else is interesting. We've seen from some recent reports as well, there's a higher number of people with a solid six-figure income that are now shopping at Walmart doing discount shopping. Now, no diss on Walmart. I shop at Walmart too, okay? I shop wherever prices make the most sense, okay? Sometimes it's Target. Sometimes it's the local hole-in-the-wall grocery store. I mean, just let's be real, right? Sometimes it's Walmart. Sometimes it's other places. But you kind of got to look around to find whatever has the best prices. And again, that's just what we do too, right? But my point is, we continue to see from these other reports out there as well that a higher percentage of higher income, six-figure salary income earners are now shopping at discount places like Walmart. Again, nothing bad with Walmart. Walmart's great, awesome, right? But they're shopping at these places because of affordability, right? Incomes have not kept up with the rapidly rising prices over the last couple of years, and it's nuts. People are falling behind massively, and you can just see from this one report right here. This is just one study, one report. Think of all the other reports that are out there that show like a massive percentage of people. And again, I know that a lot of people here in this community, on this channel right here, are low income and fixed income. Read the comment section of any video that I've had out over the last, call it 3 years. Few thousand videos, read the comment section on any of them, you'll see anybody living on a small fixed income that says, this is rough. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm eating one meal a day. I'm eating, 5 meals a week or something like this. It's a bad situation. There's a lot of people that are just really financially struggling right now. I can't tell you how many comments down below over the last couple of years. Yep. I have nowhere to live right now, got kicked out or lost my home, I'm living in a motel, I'm living in my car, I'm living in my truck, I'm living somewhere, I'm living with my family or something like this. Bad situation, right? I mean, what else is there to do about this? So, and again, as I alluded to earlier, the more that we dig into this, okay, it's actually kind of interesting. I find this to be kind of misleading, but again, whatever. I mean, this is this is how it always goes. But you continue to read these reports, they come out and say, oh, the consumer's so strong. That's why the economy is so robust right now. The economy is humming along. The economy is doing great, right? Really? Is the economy really doing that great? Or is that just what we're being fed to believe about the economy? Well, that's up for grabs, right? We can all kind of insert our own opinions here. That's fine. But they're actually pointing toward all of this rapidly rising inflation that continues to persist. This inflation is not going anywhere. They continue to say, oh, it's because the economy is strong and because the consumer has all this discretionary income and the consumer is so strong. Is that really the case? Here's the thing. Based on the reports that we're looking at, we can clearly see that the vast majority of consumers are not strong. The vast majority of consumers don't have any money. At least that's what we're seeing from the reports. But rather, they continue to say it's this never-ending government spending that is actually jacking up all this inflation and rising prices on all of these things right now. That is what's driving a lot of this inflation. Because here's the thing. How much money does the government have? Unlimited. Government literally has unlimited amounts of money, right? they can just pull up their old printing press when they need a little more and just print another 100 billion or something like that. Print me a trillion, right? Can we do that? No, please don't do that. You're going to end up in some place you don't want to be, surrounded by concrete and some metal bars, right? It's not going to be a fun place, okay? My point is that is not okay for us to do, but it is certainly fine for them to do, right? Funny how that works, right? Double standard in action. So anyway, but I want to bring this to your attention really quickly. I wanted you to know about these reports. When I'm coming across this information, I want you to see what's going on. I want you to have this information at your disposal so you can see these reports that are out there. And again, I like to read about all this stuff. I like to know what is going on. I like to see the big picture. I like to read all the reports that say, oh, the economy is great and everybody's doing fine and we all have tons of money. We're flush with cash. And I also like to read the reports that say, let's look at the big picture here. Let's look at the surveys that are being sent out to people and ask, what's going on with your finances right now? And people respond saying, what finances are you talking about? Are you talking about all the credit card debt I'm carrying right now? Oh, yeah. We can talk about that, sure. Yeah, it's a big old balance, and the interest is racking up pretty quickly. So anyway, this is what I have for you right here in this video. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends on my social media. There's a share button right down below as well. Otherwise, check out any other videos here on the channel, including the thousands in the video library, the ones that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right now, pop one up on your screen. You'll see some videos there as well. So enjoy, have a good day, and I'll catch you again later.